Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've had an amazing day and you had a great weekend. Okay, so today I wanted to talk to you about how to do a push-up correctly. Now, if you're anything like I was doing them very wrong for many years. Not that I enjoyed doing push-ups and not that I'd done them very often, but I did put them into my workouts and yeah, I didn't enjoy it at all. Okay, now they're in my workouts pretty much every single time I work out. I'm not going to say I love doing them every single workout, but I do love doing a push-up because I know how to do them correctly. Now, it does take practice and it does take some time to build up the strength, but once you know the correct technique and once you can actually implement that into your workouts and practice it and do it over and over and perfect it, you will be able to do a push-up properly and you'll learn to actually enjoy doing them. So what I'm going to go through with you today is how to do that. There are a few steps to doing a push-up correctly. Okay, so there are a lot of injuries you can do, especially to your rotator cuffs and your wrist, your lower back even. So knowing how to do a push-up properly is really going to eliminate a lot of those risks and you'll actually start to enjoy it and you'll get a lot of benefit out of doing them. Alright guys, let's get straight into it. Okay, so one of the first things you want to actually make sure you've done before you even attempt to do a push-up is make sure your wrists are warmed up. Alright, it seems really basic and something that you probably would just avoid, but don't, because I have very weak wrists and they're very stiff. And when I first started calisthenics training, I was not warming up my wrists properly and I started to get problems with them and they would click and they were sore. Every morning I'd wake up and I had to actually take a break from my workouts for a good, well, probably I should have taken longer than I did, but I did actually have to take a week off to let them recover. So with calisthenics training, you are performing push-ups often and you're doing a lot of, obviously it's body weight workouts, so you're putting a lot of pressure on your wrists, so really make sure you're warming them up. Basic warm-ups for your wrist is just pushing over like this. Hold it for like 30 seconds to a minute and then reverse it. And then just your palm facing up. And just this. Okay, so do take a few minutes to warm your wrists up before you do anything when it comes to calisthenics training in general, definitely push-ups. Okay, next thing you want to get correct is your hand placement on the floor. You want to have your hands about shoulder width apart. Don't put them too close together or too far apart. As you can see, you want your hands to be shoulder width apart for the regular push-up. Okay, now there are various different versions of a push-up you can do that will target different muscles, but today I'm just going through the proper technique to do a standard push-up. Okay, now once you've got your hand position right, you want to work on where your shoulders are in line with your hands. Okay, so it's really poor form to have your arms too far back or to be leaning too far forward. Too far forward, you could really damage your wrists, and either position is making the exercise much more difficult to execute. You want to make sure your shoulders are in line with the base of your hand. This will allow you to get the right angle as you're going down, and you're going to heavily reduce the risk of doing injury to your rotator cuffs. Okay, next thing is foot placement. Now this actually isn't a big deal whether you have your feet this far apart or this far apart, okay? Foot placement isn't actually a problem. Just make sure that they are straight. You don't want them like this. You don't want them like this. You want to be on your toes, nice and straight, okay? Alright, so next one is making sure that you've got a really strong core. When you're doing a push-up, you're engaging your entire body. So every muscle is going to be engaged as you're doing this movement.
As you can see from my demonstration, if I don't have control of my core muscles, the whole exercise is very difficult to execute, and again, you can cause injury and you will not be getting any benefits.
Alright, so the next really important step, guys, is to make sure that your hips are not swinging around in every direction.
You want to make sure that you don't stick your butt out when you're doing this exercise, and same going the other way. You don't want to let your hips sink. You want to have a nice, flat, rigid line. By keeping your core really engaged and squeezing your glutes and quads, you're not only making this exercise much easier on yourself, but you're getting huge benefits from doing that.
So as you can see, if my hips are up like this, it's not good technique. And same if your hips are dipping, it's not the way to do this. You're actually making it much harder on yourself by doing these things incorrectly. Hello, you come to join the video. Can you do a push-up? Once you get the technique correct and implement all of this, the push-up, I promise you, will become so much easier. Alright, nearly at the end. Another very, 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 very important step is the placement of your elbows as you're going down. Please excuse my very, very, very ruined couch. It's going to the dump when I decide to get a new one. But yeah, my cat's ruined it. She's completely ruined it, so naughty girl.
Okay, be very aware of your bat wing arms when doing a push-up. You want to keep your arms nice and close to the sides of your body.
Now, on the downward part of your movement, by keeping your elbows close to your body, it is making the movement harder, but it is definitely working the right muscles better, and you will be avoiding shoulder injury. So get it right now, implement these correct techniques now, and you can avoid all of that hassle. Okay, one more thing.
Alright, so on the upward part of the movement, you want to make sure that you're not getting momentum through your chest to come back up.
Okay, so as you can see, we don't want any Superman movements or whatever you want to call that movement. Okay, doing that, you're not actually putting the pressure on the right muscles, and you're using your chest to aid coming back up. Again, it will make the exercise harder, but in the long run, you're going to be benefiting yourself, and you're going to be getting stronger much, much, much quicker. Okay, last step to doing a push-up correctly is the way you're locking when you come back up in the upward part of the movement. Now, you don't want to snap your elbows, you don't want to be popping them too violently. When you're coming back up, you're locking like this. Okay, so you come down and then lock. Down and lock. It's very difficult to do in this position. Watch.
So when you come back up, make sure that you're really engaging your upper back and your shoulder muscles.
So there you go. Doing that, practice it. The only way you'll really truly get it is just by practicing it. You'll have some fails, but to actually feel how it's supposed to be done is the only real way to actually mastering, I guess, any exercise that you're trying to do. Alright guys, so that is how to correctly execute a push-up. Now, what you can do, and what I probably should have said earlier, is you can definitely modify it and make it simpler by placing your knees on the ground. If you're trying to master a push-up for the first time and you can't do it, then I definitely recommend placing your knees on the ground when you're practicing that, but the same techniques still stand. Alright guys, I'll break that down in the description for you so you've got it to refer to. Thanks for watching. I hope this was beneficial for you. I hope that you're going to master your push-up correctly very soon. I know you will if you implement that and practice it consistently. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe to me for more videos like this, and we'll see you next time.